Kobie, what do you, take away, from a defensive standpoint? You guys were obviously able to create some turnovers, but no points to show for it offensively.
Yeah, I think we did a solid game, defensively. We ultimately, even if we get put in compromising positions or if that comes up, we still can't let them get a touchdown. So there's a lot of things that we could have done better. I think we played a solid game, and I think there's a lot to build off of. I'm excited to get back to work, and even through this bye week, to fix some of those small things so we can, play a very complete game defensively.
There were a lot of shorter fields today for you guys. How did you guys handle that?
Yeah, I think regardless where we get placed on the field, when it's time to go, it's time to go. So we have to have a bend, but don't break mentality, and that's where not giving up some of those touchdowns comes in. And if we just hold them to a field goal on a lot of those opportunities, then, we give a better opportunity, for the offense to go out and execute. So, regardless where the situation we get put in, when our time is called, we have to go and respond.
When you're 3-6 going into a bye week, what's kind of the mental challenge to get away, or what do you do?
Yeah, so it's a mix of, getting your body right, taking a little break. But I think for me, that fuels me to get back ready, for when Seattle comes into town. That's a big division game, and, that's the next opportunity to go and fix some of the mistakes that we put out on film today. So that's my mentality, is get a break, I get to go back home, see some family, recover in that way, but get ready to go to work.
What did you notice they were doing schematically in their run game? This was the best rushing. They got their backs back, but they were the best rushing day they've had this year.
Right. I think they just really committed to the run game. They were soloing me up a little bit in the very beginning, and then they started, bringing on some more combos. But I think really they just committed to the run game, and I think there's some leaky yardage too. 28's a big back. Played him in college, and you know that he's a big back. He's going to lean forward, and so on some of those tackles, just being able to tackle big, and keep them out of 4th and inches situations where they can pick those up.
Thanks, Kobie.
Thank you, guys.
If I could, one more. As a rookie, you haven't been through something like this before. You 3 games, and how is the dynamic in here? What is the vibe, and how do you guys sort of keep together through all of this?
Yeah, I feel like for us, it's just going back to the drawing board. I haven't felt anything different from this team. It's all been sticking together, going back and figuring out ways to just work at it and figure out ways to come out with a win. And obviously we haven't in the past couple of weeks, but it's just right back to the drawing board, right back to work.
Thanks, Kobie.
I'm not really sure what to think right now. All I know that was clearly not good enough. Had the fumble early when it was a little bit wetter conditions out there. We were kind of able to, fix that with some new cleats and then getting a glove or whatever. But and then had a tipped INT there that if that ball's six inches further out there, that it's probably a completion. So it's small margin of error in this league, and just fell short today.
Is it hard to get into a rhythm?
I didn't think so. Obviously had, the drop snap early in the game there, and then the one under center as well. So, that kind of threw everything off a little bit. But after the third or fourth drive, I really felt like we settled in, and we had a couple 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 opportunities that, we just didn't convert. We had an unfortunate pass interference call on Tutu on Puka that, was a big momentum shifter in the game because we had just gotten a turnover and we were driving to go score. So, it just didn't go our way.
Brett, it was tough weather conditions as well. What was the biggest struggle for you personally? I know you still got to look at film, but what was the big challenge?
Yeah, like I said, I think after, that under center fumble, where the ball kind of slipped out of my right hand there, they were able to get me a glove, and then I slipped on one of the play passes coming out of it, trying to step up, where I ended up getting sacked. So I got put on the studded cleats, but it wasn't terrible today, so I don't think you can use that as an excuse.
Wanted to ask, it was a 4th and 1 coming out of the 3rd quarter break into the 4th quarter. Saw you and Sean on the sideline discussing the play call. 4th and 2, come out in 11 and gun run. Kind of wondering what the discussion was like there, and whether you felt that was a big momentum shift there too.
Yeah, I thought, just never really felt like we got over the hump. Sean and I were discussing, I think, we weren't really sure if it was a 4th and 1 or like a 4th and 1.5 or a 2, which is a big difference in this league, kind of based on what the play call is going to be. So, yeah, I mean, just weren't able to get it done.
So, Brett, you made 2 equipment changes. You put on a glove, and then studded cleats. You changed your cleats.
Yeah.
Halftime, or?
Yeah, no, I mean, we just kind of rolled with those, and I felt like, after, like I said, after that one under center fumble, I didn't really feel like it was too bad. So the weather wasn't a factor.
Brett, we know from talking to you this week that you were prepared and that you expected more from yourself this game. How do you compartment?
Yeah. I mean, I think, like I said, it's tough to say how I feel right now, just because I did really feel like I had a great week of practice. Probably my best I've had going into a start. So it's frustrating to say the least, and I can't really put my finger on it, but it just never really felt like we were able to get over that hump and really get rolling and get on the same page. So it's frustrating for sure.
When did you know for sure that you were starting?
I didn't really know for sure until like Friday, but he had a pretty good idea. Matthew wasn't really able to grip the ball or anything, so didn't know for sure until Friday. I think he tried it out and was like, no.
Were they doing anything, especially in the middle part of the game, against the run, to sort of tighten down on top of you guys, try to get you throw a little more?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were bringing some backer pressures on early downs, which that wasn't necessarily a surprise. They had a couple inverted cover 2 looks. We really didn't. Going into this game, they were a big man outfit on 3rd down, and I don't know if it was because they didn't have the same DBs. They had a couple guys down, I know, but they ended up playing some, disguised man looks where they're getting into Tampa 2, and one specifically I can think of in the 4th quarter there. I should have been able to get down to Cooper, on a pivot route and just recognize that earlier, but I was trying to make a play down the field. So, I mean, I think they did a good job.